Welcome to our very first 10 Talk. We're excited to launch this as part of our LearnAway website that we hope is helping all of you as teachers. My name is Nancy Latham. I'm from the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign, and I'm excited to have my friend and colleague to chat with me today, Anni Reinking from Southern Illinois University. Anni is Edwardsville, I should say. Anni is an assistant professor, and we're going to just talk a little bit today about organizational timing and daily schedule and everything we as teachers know about that, no matter what age group you're teaching and you're an expert in, and how we apply those great strategies now in this remote learning environment. And so we hope you feel like this is a chat and you grab your coffee and plop down and we'll just chat this out a little bit. So Anni, get us started.
Yes, thank you so much for letting me join us on this first 10 Talk for the LearnAway website. It's a great website for all of you to have access to. We're going to talk about developmentally appropriate practice, screen time, and timing, really to help educators and parents for all ages. So this first document that Nancy is going to put up for all of us to see is something that was put out by the Illinois State Board of Education. And this is something that shows the minimum and maximum amount of time that students should be engaging in virtual and remote learning. Along with the last column, which I think is one of the most important columns, is that sustained attention. And it shows you for the grade level, the age level of how long, what developmentally appropriate sustained attention, how long that is. For those pre-K and kindergarten students, it's 3 to 5 minutes. So as caregivers at home are kind of trying to conceptualize engaging in this learning, really thinking about teachers move their days in 5-minute segments, which is very, very kind of hard sometimes for caregivers and parents and families to understand. So educators use this, parents use this as a way to really think about what we can do, minimum and maximum amount of remote learning, but then that sustained attention. When you're not doing the remote learning though, and on the computer, they have some really great examples or suggestions for mind, body, spirit, environment, and family. Ways to get out and go do other things, because this is a great time to really kind of experience the children's and students' world. Nancy, what do you think about this guidance that they've provided?
You know, I was actually I'm very excited about it to help guide parents now, but I'm actually even more excited when we go back. I hope that it guides our developmentally appropriate minutes, because it actually is to think about kindergartners really this 30 to 90 minute day of hard instruction kind of time and mixing it in with other things. And I think this time, one of the opportunities is it's going to help us realize that even when we go back to face-to-face, how many ways and different ways we can offer to break up that day, that instructional day for children, while learning is absolutely still happening, and a lot of things that are very healthy for them, no matter what their age group. I mean, if you even look down here at this more the secondary grades, you can see kind of that whole breaking it up kind of thing. And another good strategy when no matter what age group you're working with is knowing how many minutes of instructional expectation is appropriate, but it's also knowing how to break that up. And I know you're going to talk a little bit about that, because we all know no matter what the age group, we can teach, basically our tools are whole group instruction, small group instruction, and independent kind of things as well. And so I know you're going to talk about some tools that help with that too, remotely.
Absolutely, yeah. And so as we're kind of taking that document down, I also want us as educators to remember accessibility. And so I think that this is a really great guidance also, is to be thinking about accessibility and thinking about how much time we are requiring or suggesting families to be on the computer. Because some families' reality is that data usage is something that is a very minimal amount of time that they have paid for. And so really thinking about how you can reach outside the virtual learning and how you can really help with accessibility for parents and families who may not have unlimited data, because videos use up a lot of data. Doing virtual meetings use up a lot of data. And so really, how can you engage in that instruction in a different way? And so that's something to think about. But also, I'm gonna share with you a really great tool for families at home or teachers. If you are doing virtual learning and you wanna set a fun timer for your students as they're engaging in something, here is a website that we will also provide with this 10 Talk that shows lots of different types of timers. So you can have a sack race, race. You can have a duck race. And you just kind of click on it and you set a timer for however long you want. And of course, it's going to take just a minute because I have a lot of things on my computer. But you set it and then you kind of see them going. Now it's making noise, so I'm going to turn it off, but you can kind of see them racing to the end, and it's a fun way for children and students to kind of see their learning. The other thing that I want to share with you in this short time is the idea of choice. And so one of the biggest things that's really important to all students is the idea of choice. And so we really want to make sure that when we are thinking outside the box, thinking about accessibility and students who may not have as much accessibility to the internet, that there are ways that you can provide choice. And this is an example of a choice board from a teacher that I found as I was just Googling things. She is, or he, I'm not sure if it's a man or a woman, from Lincoln Elementary in Elk River, Minnesota. And so you can just see that this is a strategy that they have given to their families to kind of reach outside that box and also know that learning takes place in many, many different forms. Nancy, what do you think about this choice board?
Well, I love the choice boards because I really think that teachers of any grade level, you know, you can do this kind of concept of a choice board. The early childhood person in me loves it because to me, it's a way of almost thinking about how we think of centers in an early childhood or elementary classroom. But I think all age groups could benefit from that because the complexity is all about the choices, right? But we also have to think about who our co-teachers, our co-educators now are more than ever before in those kinds of choices when we put them on there. If they're all very intricate and difficult and labor intensive or material intensive, we really have to think about some families that may not have that kind of time to give to it, may not have those resources to give to it, or may not have, actually, you know, they're sitting next to them working in this in the world. When we really talk about remote learning, that's usually, that could very well be what's happening. So we have to think about what we put in our choice board and be very differentiated in that, I think. But I love the idea.
Absolutely. So I think one of the ideas that I want to end this 10 Talk with for all of you viewers and listeners is creativity. This is a time where we're all reaching out into our creativity worlds. I'm thinking about accessibility, thinking about creativity, thinking about choice, thinking about different ways to instruct, but also really keeping in mind that developmentally appropriate practice for each grade level. So thank you so much for letting me.
I love it, Annie. I love it. We could go on and on, right? We could do a 20 talk on this, but I mean, I think it's really important. Please know that we will put all of these resources in the top 10 list that will accompany, along with some other good ideas and articles all about organizing your daily schedule. And you'll find that where you find this 10 Talk. So we're hoping you'll join us for more because every one of them seems to spark other topics. Thanks, Annie.
Yes, thank you so much.